Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council members. My name is Dr. Duane Weed. I live at 3233 Fifi Road in Bridgeton. My wife and I have lived in Bridgeton for 20 years. I also operate a business in Bridgeton. And I just found out I have 3 minutes to talk tonight, and I have a little bit more than 3 minutes of material here, so I'm going to have to bust through this very quickly. What motivated me to come here tonight was a while back I was driving up St. Charles Rock Road, and I was going through the intersection up here at McKelvey, and there's a flash right in the middle of the intersection. All right, so my instinct when there's a flash and going through a busy intersection is to take my foot off the gas and put it on the brake. And I realized then it's one of those traffic cameras, and that happened to me again at a later time, a flash. And again, I can't get used to these flashes. Again, my instinct was to take my foot off the gas and put it on the brake. And I said, this can't be good. I said, these things have got to be dangerous. So I did some research. And that's what I want to talk about tonight very briefly is I want to ask that City Council consider banning red light cameras in Bridgeton. I got on the website. There's a really good website if you're interested in this information to have tonight, because I have a lot of research studies done here. There's a website, it's a Missouri website, it's a Missouri group of people who are trying to get state legislation passed to ban red light cameras statewide. And the website is wrongonred.com. So it's like right on red, but wrong on red. Hope you remember that. They claim to have every single study that's been done on red light cameras on the safety issue on their website. And I copied them all down. This is a list of the studies that found out that red light cameras do more harm than good. This is the list of the studies that determined that they're helpful. They decrease accidents. All right, it's a 7 to 1. It's a 3 to 1 ratio. So 75% of the studies show that red light cameras not only are not effective, but they actually make the intersections more dangerous. Here in Chicago, Illinois, 2010, I'm not going to read all these studies, I'm just going to give you a sample. 2010 analysis by the University of Illinois, the results show that while overall crashes in the city are down, the crashes at red light camera-equipped intersections are up over 5%. It gets worse. Here's one for, here's a Canadian study. They found out that at intersections with red light cameras equipped, crashes are up 43% and injury crashes are up 126%. Here's one that's done in New Mexico. Crashes up 23%, injury crashes up 29%. So not only do they increase crashes, but they also increase the injuries. All right, so if you want to use the red light cameras for the safety factor, I think the evidence, and these studies are all done by like departments of transportation for the various states and also by universities. I think the evidence is overwhelming that red light cameras are not only ineffective, they're also dangerous. 40% increase, 107% increase, 133% increase. And the few studies that found out that they were effective, 1% decrease is what this study found. There are problems with, generally the studies that found out that they were effective were criticized because their samplings were small. The good studies, like I said, 75% of all the studies show that they cause more harm than good. But there's something else. It's another issue besides the safety factor. I mentioned the safety factor because I know that's the one that everybody is concerned with. There's another factor, and that is the big brother factor. I just say personally, I do not like the way our country has been heading over the last few decades. And Big Brother is getting more and more intrusive. I don't like all these spy cameras going in. I know they're supposed to be there for our safety, but I believe it's more than just for our safety. I think they're also to keep track of individuals. And even if they're not, even if the current government doesn't want to use them for that purpose, you never know in the future. You might get a government who decides to use these things for more nefarious purposes. So my other complaint is more along the constitutional basis. There are the issues. I have, in my research, I found, I listened to recordings of city councils in various other places, like including in Missouri, like in Washington, Missouri. I listened to their city council meeting. They brought up a lot of good points. I won't go into all of those for lack of time tonight, because and all that information is available online. One of the issues they bring up, I've seen brought up frequently, is the fact that you're not able to face your accuser. If you're pulled over by a policeman and you decide to contest it, you go to court and the policeman is there as your accuser. With these cameras, you're not allowed to face your accuser. I think that's a constitutional issue. And again, I think there's the big brother issues. I just don't think this is a place where I want to see our country headed. I don't have that much effect on our national politics, on our state politics, but what I have decided is I do have some influence on our local politics, and as you've noticed, I attend all of the city council meetings, and that's one of the reasons is I don't like the way our government is going. And I realize I don't have that much influence on national state level, but our government in this country is designed to work from the bottom up, and this is the bottom, and that's the reason you see me here at each council meeting. But in summary, I just want to say, just summarize my thought, is I asked the city council to consider banning, to take the lead, like a lot of communities in Missouri have done, consider banning red light cameras for all of the reasons, not the least of which is they actually increase accidents and they increase injury accidents. And one more thing, I just asked anyone here who has any input to me about how we can how to accomplish this, how to move forward with this. It would, will it help to get petitions? But anybody on the city council who has any suggestions for me about how to proceed with this, I would welcome any input privately at any time.
Thank you for your comments.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Others wishing to address the council? Sir.
Hello, Mayor, council members. My name is Dan Hyatt, and I'm also here to speak on the photo enforcement issue. I'm actually an ABET accredited engineer. I've been an IT engineer for 20 years, and I'm very familiar with IT projects, which this is effectively an IT project. And I'm also an expert at identifying misrepresentations and outright fraud by the vendors. I've been doing this excuse my nervousness, I've been doing this for my employers for years and years. Last year, I helped Forest Pharmaceuticals identify a $2 million fraud by a vendor, and of course it killed the project when we determined that fraud was occurring. Why am I saying all this about fraud? As it's been many times asserted, the photo enforcement is not about safety. It's about fraud. If you actually get into the numbers, I'm not talking about the dollars, I'm talking about the engineering data, you'll find out that it's physically impossible for 90% of the people being accused of violating public safety to violate public safety because the engineering numbers just don't work. And I actually have two versions of the recent Kansas City study here. The question is why does this study that came out in January 2012, but done by the police department, have pages and pages of data on it, and a summary that says red lights don't increase safety. Some lights had more, some had less, but also they noted that there were some serious errors in most of the studies, which render most of the studies invalid, where they use the example of a freeway interchange with a road. Every accident on that freeway for a quarter mile either direction was counted as an accident at that intersection, even though it was cars going down the freeway. This study points out that there were no fatal accidents at any of the intersections for 3 years before the cameras went in. Oh, excuse me. The version that ATS, it does say in this version, that ATS helped Kansas City leadership prepare. It deleted all the data, but says since the cameras went in, there have been no fatal accidents. I consider that fraud because they're implying that the cameras are increasing safety. They are not increasing safety. The data approves it. And also, Missouri Traffic Commissioners on January 12, 2011, at the request of the Director of MoDOT, followed Missouri law, reviewed it, found in fact that many of the red light cameras are in fact for revenue generating, not safety, which is a violation of state law. They said, they're all invalidated, we're gonna work with you, here's what you need to do to get certified. Because they violated state law, they have to be certified by MoDOT. You're taking a big risk if you're going to jump in and do this revenue generating game, and it's gonna come back to bite you because you signed a contract, you're bound by that contract, you can't collect the revenue that American Traffic Solutions promises you, and you're still stuck with the bill for the cameras. And as several cities in California learned, they had to actually refund the fines because they were illegally collected. I think the Supreme Court case calls it illegal taxes. If you pay it voluntarily, you pay it, but if you fight it, you're entitled to it back. But that can leave you liable to lawsuits. Most importantly, Missouri Constitution has a Bill of Rights, and in that Bill of Rights, it says the city has a responsibility to the citizens. And when it fails these, Article 1, Section 2, when it fails these, the city fails in its chief design. It's your responsibility to not only serve the citizens of Bridgeton, but also the citizens of the state of Missouri. And if you partner with American Traffic Solutions and participate in their fraud of the Missouri people by writing tickets to people who did not violate public safety, then you have failed in your chief design. And I call on you to please get past the revenue and decide. I'm going over it?
Yes, sir, you are, and unless council suspends the rules, you're making some interesting points, but if you can summarize.
Okay.
And,
in summary, I ask that the city of Bridgeton focus on engineering the intersections that are problems to solve any perceived problems instead of resorting to this extreme draconian enforcement effort that does nothing but raise revenue for American Traffic Solutions, Bridgeton, annoying and harassing the citizens of Missouri. Thank you for your time.
thank you.
Nice.
Others wishing to address council at this time? Anyone else wishing to address council? Anyone? Seeing no one, we'll close the public portion and move to the next item.